Hey guys, what's up? What's up, pups? Did I actually send this to my? Okay, nope. Oh fudge! I hope I didn't send this to the wrong person. Not that it
Oh my
matters.
gosh.
No, I did send it to me. Gmail being lame, but hey, how's it going, guys? How are you this fine Saturday night or afternoon? I never know when people say afternoon. It's like, what do you mean by afternoon? Like 2 to 3, or like 9, 10? But with us tonight is a very good friend of mine, Crumbreon, the sassy lassie, because I just love hearing a good
Hello.
Crumbreon rant. Cress, how's it
Hello,
going?
everybody. Hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Making sure everything is live.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's my beautiful face on YouTube. Odyssey is going. Gosh, I really wish Rumble get rid of this stupid trailer preview, because you have to hit play. Okay, it wants you to have this trailer. It's like, then we'll go live, and then you go live. It plays the trailer again, and then it loads the stream, and it's so annoying.
Oh, good Lord.
All they have to do is just copy YouTube and change stuff, and
That's
then
all I
be
have
like,
to
"This
do.
is ours."
Don't reinvent the wheel. Seriously.
I know, exactly, exactly. All right, but we are live on everything. I need more than 2 monitors, apparently. So, but yeah,
I don't know how people
how's
live
life
without two
treating you,
monitors.
Chris?
What's that?
Things going well for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Things going pretty decently. I've been busy, keeping busy, as usual.
Awesome. Yeah, I try to catch your Twitch um, shows whenever they come on, whether that's playing Pokemon or, well, you were playing something recently. I can't
Uh,
remember what game it
yeah, I was
was.
playing some Star Ocean.
Ooh, Star Ocean.
The new
Very
Star Ocean,
nice.
the Divine Force. It's pretty good.
Is that like current gen or old?
Yep, it was brand new. Just released a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool. Is that RPG, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's like JRPG, old school. The series kind of took a nosedive over the past few years,
Mm,
after being a pretty really good series for a while. But they've gone back to the roots, and it's an incredible game. The voice cast is also not too bad. They're not crunchy or Funimation bullshit, so
very
that's a
good.
bonus.
No, that's good because they don't deserve anything.
No, absolutely not.
And that will definitely be a topic that we'll be talking about momentarily. But funny you mention that. Did you hear the whole fiasco with Fable being remastered and being updated for
Oh, I
modern
haven't heard
audience?
that. What's going on with Fable?
Oh man, they're pulling the whole they're going to be remaking it for a more modern audience. So
Oh,
immediately
good
that means they're
Lord.
going to be a bunch of cucks about it. And
So they're siphoning out any wit and humor from the fucking game.
yep,
Great.
pretty much. Let me post the tweet. We live. That's all I said. Is we live.
Fable is a Ponzi scheme. It's like a Skyrim at this point.
Did
Just
you
keep
ever play any?
re-releasing it.
Did you ever play any of the Fable games?
I tried to play the original Fable, couldn't it was so dry to get into. Like I'm sure it picked up, but I just couldn't do
Mm,
it. And I played got into it with Fable 3, which was fantastic. I loved Fable 3.
okay,
Tried to go back and play Fable 2, then that was okay.
that
But
was a series I wanted to try to get into.
yeah, I really liked Fable 3. I thought it was like the humor in it, the wit. It was just fantastic. It was very, very good.
Oh, hey Rod, what's up? Sorry to sorry to guess. Fable 3 is a crime against gaming in general. I personally, I'm very sorry you liked it. Haven't played it yet, so I don't have an opinion on it yet. I've heard people really liked 1. Some people are with okay with 2. I don't
2
know.
is the best, apparently. I didn't
Yeah,
play 2 first, so I don't know.
yeah. That's definitely one of them that, well, I have to look on my digital because I finally got off my ass and made a physical backlog list of all the video games I have, and I'm trying to
Nice.
go through them. I'm currently playing Golden Sun, which is actually a really good RPG. That was for Game Boy Advance, and then there's Golden Sun: The Lost Ages for also Game Boy Advance, and then there's one for DS.
Hmm.
But really liking the story, and it kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger because I
Mhm.
think it's really well balanced to where you can just play the story. You
Mhm.
don't have to go out of your way to grind to
That's
level up,
awesome.
and so I think it's really well balanced. But my favorite part is, and you collect Dinginis, like little monsters and stuff, and they're
Okay.
based on the elements, and you can like do all these cool moves and stuff. What
Hmm.
I what I really like about it is that almost every move that your characters have in your party are AoE moves.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and so it's like, I know I've said at one point, I'm like, man, I just want every character to have an AoE move, but here's a game that says, oh, not only does like your basic attack it can be an AoE move, but your more powerful attacks can be AoE moves as well. And I was like, this is the game for me. I'm really
Sweet.
enjoying it. I'd recommend it.
It's amazing.
Rod says, yeah, Fable 2 was the best one, but even then, it was pretty terrible. The last boss you can kill with one hit. I think that's kind of I don't mind being One Punch Man every now and then. It's actually one of the like kind of things I kind of like doing, and when it comes to like replaying a video game or something like that, is I call it One Punch Man mode, where you just start off as a beast. So use like a cheats or Game Shark or something to like give you like just make you most powerful, and then just plow through everybody. I
Mhm.
enjoy that. Who doesn't enjoy that? I'm trying to find that Fable, the whole Fable controversy thing. This is what happens when you don't. Oh, speak of the devil, and it shall appear. I found I found it. Head of Xbox Studios says developer behind Fable reboot is aiming to bring the series forward for today's sensibilities. Oh,
Oh boy.
oh boy. I know.
Well, so
Brace
I
yourself.
will I will say
Mhm,
the one thing that kind of was bizarre in Star Ocean
mhm,
was so like about like I don't know how many hours into the game, but a few hours into the game, one of the major storylines is that one of the cities is or like they're basically when you're on this planet, this underdeveloped planet, they're having like a sort of an issue with a plague, and
mhm.
they can't figure out what's going on. And then you go into this one area, and then they're like, oh, we should be wearing face masks, and then like they literally introduce like a COVID face mask thing like in the game, talking
Are you,
about how, oh, if you wear a face mask, then you have less of a chance of catching it yourself, and if you have it, then you aren't spreading it to other people, and blah blah blah. It's a really
oh, dude,
cringe moment.
are you shitting me?
I'm dead serious.
That's
I'm dead
fucking
serious.
retarded.
It's literally like it was such an out of place moment, but it was it was such a short moment. It didn't derail the game, but it was very very bizarre to
See,
just
I
kind of shoehorn in.
See, and I think the way that video games are going is it's probably going to be more of that, but
Mhm.
hopefully pulled back. And when I say hopefully, I'm saying if like for some reason you appreciate that sort of thing, which I don't.
Exactly.
Hey, Stacy, what's up?
Hey, Stacy.
Stacy, with the hand wave sign. Welcome, welcome. We're just already getting coming in hot with video games and whatnot, but oh my gosh. Like, I think nothing will ever beat The Last of Us Part 2 as being like a giant woke PSA.
Oh god, that was like that was the extreme, and I think people realize that that's not going
Hey,
to
so man.
sell. It's just not going to work.
And the you want to know what the funny thing is I would not have cared if that entire game was just focused on Abby,
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't care how Abby came about and stuff. What I did care is Cuckman was pressured into bringing back Joel and Ellie, so then
Mm-hmm.
they had to be the focal point again. But then it's like take everything you established from the first one and just completely shit on it in the second one and forget about like current stuff. But then also try to make you promote like supporting Abby. And then you're just like, well, then why didn't you just make the whole game about Abby?
Exactly. Like they could have, like what they could have done was had The Last of Us 2 about Abby and her story and make you care about her, and then have The Last of Us 3 be The Last of Us 2, basically. And that probably would have made people
Mm-hmm.
actually care more about the fucking character.
I mean, I was of the one of honestly just being like Joel and Ellie's story is over.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joel made the decision of saving Ellie, and they have to live with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I'm concerned. I think that universe should have been like seeing different people living in that universe and how every new character could be a different experience on how they're surviving.
Well,
You know.
they kind of pigeonholed themselves with the Walking Dead issue, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone wants to know, oh, well, I want to know what happens to Grimes. I want to know what happens to Grimes. Like, the story's done. Like they've introduced other people. They're trying to
Exactly.
like go across the world now, and they just keep going back to Grimes. It's like, oh, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's I don't know. The zombie trope is like. Do you think the zombie like ideas and stuff is kind of getting old?
Well, they're trying to do too much with it because like zombies is a threat, but it's not. It's more of like the how do humans react to zombies that are the threat, and they have to go more and more ridiculous with zombies to make it interesting because that story's been told 1,000 times already. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because yeah, and they just try to twist it just as much. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, they're not zombies. They're not the undead. It's a plague, or no, it's a virus, and it's like, man, yeah, like what else can you bring to it
Hmm.
besides just building characters?
Well, and you know that the Walking Dead was the people of the Walking Dead said that they were absolutely never ever going to tell how the virus got, created and all this stuff. Like that's not the story they wanted to tell. And then COVID happened, and the whole thing happened with what the hell is that place where it came from in China or whatever else. And people are like, oh no, it didn't come from China. It didn't do that. Blah 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 blah. And then it turns out that it was like from a fucking lab in China. Well, they literally the newest season of The Walking Dead, they've introduced the idea that the Walking Dead virus was man-made in like France or something like that.
Because the French don't care. It's
No.
like, yeah, we did it. You got us.
It was like a generated like a created virus, like a genetically engineered virus in France that got loose. And it's just like it's mirroring like the exact same thing for COVID again. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, good
Oh
fucking
my
lord.
gosh. We got rid of the bots. We got rid of them.
Damn
Although
bots.
I was curious about their message. It seemed very promising. I was gonna click it. But yeah, for anyone who has just joined, follow Crumbreon. I got Crumbreon's info in the description below.
Stan is
Twitch,
here.
YouTube, and Twitter. And also feel free to follow me if you enjoy
Do it.
hanging out with peeps and recollecting the good old nostalgia days and entertainment and what's happening. Is it going good? Is it going bad? Uh, I personally think it's hot garbage, but we can fix it. But we can fix it.
Fingers crossed.
I know, right? Well, I mean, and that's the beauty about indie projects starting to explode in the gaming industry, especially in the comic industry. People are saying enough's enough, making their own stories, which is amazing. Just
Hmm.
gotta love to see it. So, have you met Joe Ball, um, Cress?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, okay. He's a comic book artist and writer, and
Hmm.
created he's creating a comic called Death, 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 and it's very like Evangelion influenced and stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay.
So yay, Crumb, yay, Power Gamer. Yes. Yes, I am on we are on well, I am on YouTube. Well, I guess you're with me. I'm sorry, Cress. I didn't mean to downplay it like that. You're with me. Yeah, Joe Ball is great. Oh, yep, absolutely, Rod. But we are on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. I personally think Rumble is kind of taking up some very good steam and becoming more mainstream, and I'd like to be on that as well. So you can check me out over there. All my stuff is listed in the description as well. But obviously, if you're enjoying it, hit the subscribe, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. But I've been staring at this article here, and I'm just dying to know exactly what they're talking about. So, head of Xbox Studios, Matt Booty. What a name, Booty.
It's foreshadowing what the game is going to be.
And that reminds me of another thing too. You had to recently fix one of your emotes, right, on Twitch, because
Oh Jesus!
they apparently
Salty people, man.
because
Salty
apparently
people.
they frown upon a Crumbreon shaking the booty.
Yeah. No. Apparently they have deemed it to be committing a sexual act, which it's not at all.
I can think of many of worser things than that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Even Twitch, man. Twitch is starting to get really ugh. Could be worse. It could be boozy. Very true. Very true. Boozy, no. But in any case, so Matt Booty has stated the Fable reboot will be brought forward for today's sensibilities and be a modern take. Oh my gosh.
Why don't you do a modern take on a fantasy?
This is what I don't get.
Oh
The
my
whole
God.
point of a fantasy realm is to leave whatever situation in life you're in, or if you just need to get away from stuff.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go into a fantasy realm where anything's
Jesus
possible,
Christ.
but yet still face the reality of the struggles of reality?
These people honestly need to not be around video game anything. They should never have a say in anything like this.
Well, you've talked about plenty of times, with I can't even think of their names, but that just goes to show how much I don't care about them. The these people never enjoyed video games to begin with. What they saw was an industry that they could be activists in and infiltrated in there, and then projected their way to the top, I guess you could say, to retcon everything. Also, that they can get recognition that they're making things more, equal and whatnot. And it's like, bring in that gatekeeping. Doesn't Twitch have someone on their console, a so-called SJW gamer? I'm not surprised. I don't know if you're actually hinting at. I don't know any of the big Twitch people except Phil,
the thing is like you
that's more
can't
of a comedy base. Sorry.
you can't contact anybody at Twitch at all. You can't. There's no human
really?
beings that work at Twitch apparently, because there's no phone number, there's no email contact. Everything is automated. Even their fucking Twitter is automated. Everything that they have done, everything to separate themselves and insulate their little fucking fragile egos from having to contact the unwashed masses. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it sounds awful, and I hate it. Chaos Mesh says, "God damn it, I'm late. I told you exactly of when we were going live, many a times. Not many a times. I did mention it on Thursday, and then announced it Friday, and then announced it again today. Equal for who? Toyman says, equal for who? Apparently for some people that apparently aren't represented properly, is what they're claiming. I don't think so, but he just got off work. Don't we all just enjoy working? So not much info about this new Fable title has been shared by the developer, in spite of it being the first entry in the long-running series to be announced since 2012's Fable: The Journey, which didn't that just fall right into the crapper? Because I don't even remember hearing about Fable: The Journey. not including the Fable trilogy in 2014, the canceled Fable Legends, or the started Fable Fortune card game in 2018. During a
Yeah.
recent appearance of the Skill Up podcast, that's awfully close to the Power Up podcast. Might have to file something. No, I'm just messing. Booty, which someone pointed out, it's close to booby. It should have been just booby. I'd be more interested in it. Was asked about his start in the industry, what he missed in his position as head of Xbox Game Studio compared to being a developer, how studios work with each other, discussing how Xbox Game Pass can help smaller studios with weirder projects and more, along with the discussion Halo Infinite's launch. And oh gosh, Halo Infinite, that went downhill quick.
Mm-hmm.
Launch in development on the Perfect Dark reboot. They're doing a Perfect Dark. Oh my gosh, these
There's
people
been
can't.
talks about that for years, so I don't know if it's actually happening or not. But
I mean, this is something I've noticed, Cress, is that they're just rebooting everything because they
mm-hmm.
have no original ideas whatsoever.
Nope.
I hate it. It's and I'm one to where I'm starting to get annoyed with the digital push too.
Mm-hmm.
I want my physical copies and stuff like that. And seeing all these remakes just proves my point of the fact of if you can get the original. And at this point in any way, shape, and form. Because if they're remaking a bunch of stuff and upgrading it to modern audiences, I don't want to play it.
No, exactly. And 9 times out of 10, it's fucking worse than the
Mm-hmm.
original.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I really love like the ROM hacking and the modding community because
Mm-hmm.
they'll uncensor games. There's actually been games that people have like fan translated that's been brought over that made such an influence and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's amazing of when you actually listen to the actual people who want a good game as opposed to people who are like sprouting off clout and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does this article really have anything else about Fable, or are they just really padding it with other stuff? He then revealed they had a particular passion for the IP, and I think they also demonstrated that they understand what the heart and soul of Fable is about.
Absolutely
Big.
not.
What was that?
Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was about to say big fucking X to doubt on that one. And how they can bring it forward for today's sensibility and just make a modern take on Fable. Who
Who the fuck asked for it?
exactly? Who
Like,
the fuck said I want a modern take on Fable? Oh my gosh, these people are delusional.
who the fuck asked for that? Like, god damn.
Making a game for a quote modern audience has become an infamous buzzword.
Yeah.
Really? So usually suggesting a remake or new entry in a series would remove content some could deem offensive. To illustrate, this has resulted in titles like Resident Evil 4 VR being censored. Oh, I'm curious to know what was censored. Um, I mean, I know they changed Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. They changed like one where, oh, there was one where there's like this lady pinned up against the wall with a pitchfork in her face. And I think he makes a comment about like, guess there's like, I guess something about like equal equality here. I thought that was funny. And they changed like the line to it. It's like, not everyone is safe. It's like, oh my
Oh
gosh.
my lord.
If you're under a plague control, like mind control, I'm pretty sure equality is not the number one thing on their mind.
No.
And it was also one of the reasons the Saints Row reboot failed to resonate with both critics and independents.
Yeah, let's take like the most intentionally offensive game series and just strip it right down and just make it Sesame Street. Like, fuck out of here. What a
But then you
stupid
did,
decision.
but then it goes to show is what they're deciding to show people even during that and stuff. Because
Mm-hmm.
these people are like, well, we're bringing this, we're addressing all the problems that these games have, and it's like there was no problems. In fact, I guarantee you, the stuff that you think were problems were probably the things that made the game enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff I wish I could share and show, hmm because some of the things that I've seen are just so encouraging. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
fucking bullshit.
your point is really spot on. There's a danger sometimes. You don't want to give, the RPG team to go making a racing game or vice versa.
No, that's not it at all. You fucking idiot, booty. That's not it at all. You don't want fucking Karens to go in and make a fucking Grand Theft Auto game. You don't want fucking Big Bird to go in and remake fucking Manhunt. Like that's what you don't want. You don't want to strip out the fucking soul of the game and change it because you're offended when other people enjoy it. Fuck off. Like Jesus Christ. Holy cow. I
But this
can't
is
even.
this is what but exactly, Cress. And it goes to show, it goes, okay, so you're wanting to take out all this stuff that you find offensive in a game and make it for modern audiences. I mean, you're pretty much make a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Make
So
make
if that's the case, then take the fucking game and go make a card game with it and go
Mhm.
make something that can't possibly offend anybody at all. Just like make a nice smooth little round ball and have people roll it around on the fucking floor.
Funny enough, remake games from back then, Resident Evil remake, were the better ones. My prime example of a good remake of a game, it was the Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
It added some scenes that didn't deter from the original game, and it literally just made it look very more aesthetically engaging, textures and all that stuff. Well, I guess technically it's called the remastered, but I mean, that to me is your prime example. If you're going to do that, then do that. If you want to add new scenes, but it should not deter from the original story. And
Mm-mm.
that's it. Like the formula is so fucking simple, but they act like it's like this is so complex and confusing. We got to be very careful. It's like, no, it's not hard. It's not hard. Just reskin the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take up the shitty. I'll even take the shitty Resident Evil voice acting from way back in the day. Like if you slap that voiceover onto the current game, I would still play it because I think it'd be funny.
Is that you, Chris?
Is that you were almost a Jill sandwich? And I would absolutely love to also see like the same gestures. It's like
Oh my god.
Chris. I would love to see that in real time with the realistic. Oh, that would be so funny. I'd buy
Oh,
the
that'd be
game just
great.
in itself. Remastered, remake, reboot. What is even the difference? That's the thing. Is they're purposely making it to where there is no difference because they're just going to bombard it with modern day audience upgrades. Toyman says, God forbid they also change the look of characters, such as making the women look more like men. And there is the Jill sandwich.
I'm going to
Oh,
kick this door down.
stop. Don't open that door. That was one of my favorite ones. Although the Silent Hill one does look really good.
Well, that's because it's Japanese and they don't give a shit about fucking modern audiences.
I know. Almost like we should listen to them and
Yeah.
not the American side of things because we're fucking retarded. God.
Can you imagine them remaking Doki Doki Literature Club and this like removing all of the like killing elements of that game? It's like this is all Sesame Street, like everyone's happy ending. Like, give me a break. We
But
think it's offensive. Well, then play a different fucking game. Go play Elmo's Car Wash. Like, who the fuck cares? Give me a
I
break.
think there actually is a car wash game where all you do is you have to clean your car and you have like the power wash.
There's a power wash simulator. That game's actually
Yeah,
amazing.
that one. That's it. But it's so funny. Like going back to what you said, Toy, about like making the women look more like men and stuff. If there was one thing I learned as an artist way back in the day, because if there's one thing I can take from going to college, and yes, I did get my degree, my BFA. Well, technically in like animation, it's called time arts, but it encompasses like animation, 2D, 3D, audio editing, and all that stuff. There's one thing I learned very early on is that money, sex, and power are the selling points of anything. You can look
Mhm.
at any sort of advertisement, any sort of game, and you're going to find that element in there. Now, hopefully, people are presenting that in an interesting way to keep you engaged. But to censor out like boobs or butt jiggles and all that stuff, like first of all, you know what you're gonna buy and you know what you're gonna play if you look into it. So the responsibility is on either you or an adult to know what their kids are going to be playing. But that's a selling point, and to just get rid of that is foolish.
Oh, exactly. And then we now that leads into the
Mm-hmm.
attack on Final Fantasy now all of a sudden out of fucking nowhere. Oh, Final Fantasy needs to be more diverse and inclusive. Like, do you know what the fuck that game was built around like European like European medieval era? How many fucking black and Asian people are running around in medieval Europe? Like none. None.
Even historically, it doesn't make sense.
No.
These people are about righting the wrong in history.
Yeah.
That's straight up not history.
It's not history. It's like they have kingdoms that are like centered around those things. Like they have people of color in the games, but they're in specific fucking cities. And if the game is not about that city or that kingdom, guess what? They're not going to fucking have in it. Like look at Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls has an entire like continent of people that have dark skin, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
don't see many red guards across anywhere else in Tamriel except that fucking area because guess what? The Empire's an asshole. So why would you literally go anywhere outside of your safe zone? So ridiculous. These people are so fucking mental.
So I skimmed a little bit more. Apparently, Booty is desperate. He was desperately wanting to show off the Fable reboot. Apparently, in the PAX 2022 interview, they don't want to show stuff early
Oh,
before it's ready to
that's
go. Well, there's a
that's a
reason why.
mistake. They don't want anything getting out because people are gonna know exactly immediately. It's gonna smell.
Just
Oh my
because people
god!
don't want to be adults, we gotta suffer. It
Pretty
says,
much.
"Oh hey, JT, what's up? Booty, is that really his name?" Yep.
What a fucking argument. What a fucking people don't want to be adults. I've been dealing with fucking like toddler adults on Twitter for the past week. Good
Cress,
lord.
just know that even though there might be days where it gets on your nerves and you get upset of the bozos on Twitter, just know that think of me and how much I'm laughing because I enjoy every bit of it.
Oh my god.
Not of your suffering, of you poning people because
Oh god.
I'm just giggling. I'll just be doing a delivery and I'm just looking at like catch real quick and just laugh out loud.
I guess like if you don't want to be an adult, I guess you can just choose to not be an adult and not be responsible and just be a minor forever, I guess.
Oh, how about the meltdown of the blue check mark?
Oh fuck, that was
Oh,
amazing.
that
It's
was
still ongoing. It's just like holy
it's so
lord.
it is so amazing because it brings it takes away that arrogance of I got a blue check mark, so that means I'm a reliable source. I'm like that doesn't mean anything. Not to mention the fact that Musk straight up like exposed the fact that people paid to get that blue check mark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. And then can you imagine spending that 15K to get that blue check mark? Like I want to know who the last person was who paid 15K behind the scenes to get that blue check mark and then Musk dropping the $8 subscription. Oh man, I would want to see the tears and just fill up my cup.
Oh my god. It is yeah.
Chaos says also I
That
just subscribed
perpetual
to Crumb.
meltdown has just been so delicious, and it's like the people en masse just running to Mastodon because they heard that Mastodon's an alternative, but they have absolutely fucking no idea how the Fediverse works, and so they're just sitting there alone and like ripping their hair out because they have no fucking clue how to actually connect to anything.
Sorry to cut you off there. Chaos Smash says he just subscribed to you, Crumb. You're welcome.
Oh, nice, thank you, Chaos. Thanks for the sub.
Chaos is a regular, very rude person. Um, always insulting me of my follically impairing, and I have to keep saying that I'm not bald. I'm balding. Huge difference. I did get a haircut though. We're getting
There
to
you
the
go.
point. We're getting to the point where we got to keep it short because then I look like a monk, and I might as well just wear a brown robe and the white sash and go around humming. Do I even want to read this article anymore? This is so stupid. We should show this. It's Fable because there's a lot of cool stuff. That's what he said. We really want to show you this. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game. Booty admitted jokingly, declaring that the team has made it very clear that I'm not going to be able to show anything until it's ready. Probably because if you did show anything, the shit, it would just get piled upon it saying, why are you ruining a franchise?
Oh, absolutely.
I can be a nice guy and an asshole, hence chaos, says Can Smash. Very true. 2022, the year the safe space is popped. Should have been popped long ago. It shouldn't even haven't even been created because part of reality is stepping into an area to where you might be uncomfortable, but if you can handle yourself appropriately or what have you, you can get through it. The Fable games were a thing of its era. I don't think they have a lot to expand on, I'm afraid. Well, it's Rod, it's becoming like for me, it's becoming like Hollywood. These people don't have any more original ideas, or they can't expand upon an idea that's been done but presented in a new way. So they're banking on a franchise and hoping that the people that still love the franchise will just go along with the new iteration of the franchise. But we see it time and time again that it just fails.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fun. I don't know if there's anything else. There you go. Maybe this picture alone might entice you to
Oh,
check Fable out.
it's such cool things, right? It's so cool
Look at that. You
and
got
awesome.
your mystical font, your stereotypical overlooking of a
And
forest with the
I'm
with
sure
the
that kingdom has a complete diverse cast of people that are voiced by people of color too, of course.
mm-hmm. Oh, we'll be getting to that. I was going to transition over to the VTubing, but we'll go ahead and we'll look at that. Yes, folks. What does the comment say? Well, we've got they're in a cult that's required to maintain their jobs in these inclusive companies. A game for the modern audience is marketing slang for the kiss of death. I had
Pretty
hopes
much,
for
yeah.
this game, not anymore. 22
Yep.
thumbs up. A game for today's sensibilities because that worked out so well for Saints Row. 64 thumbs up. I am no and I'm no longer interested. Very true.
Exactly.
Very true. All right. Well, Chris, since you so wonderfully brought up the topic of diversity and stuff, let's go ahead and transition over to the never-ending clowning that is the voiceover industry.
Oh God.
Now, Chris, you've expressed your thoughts on the whole Bayonetta thing.
What a fucking joke that was. I called it immediately. Right from the start. Right from the fucking very beginning. It smelled weird.
Same here. It didn't make sense to me. There was not enough information.
And she wanted people to like make a decision without doing any research. And it's like, okay, that's a big red flag for me. No. I'm gonna wait till information comes out before I was like, no, you have to boycott the game now. Like, fuck off. First of all.
So, one of the interesting things that I thought of, and I expanded a little bit, I think just when I was just normally streaming and stuff like that, is that the thing that I took away from that whole incident is, say, for the fact that, what's her name? Taylor? Something Taylor? Uh, Elena Taylor, I think, or
Yeah.
Helena
Helena
Taylor.
Taylor.
Helena Taylor. I have a computer. I could just look it up, but that's too much work. But the thing I say, for example, that was the actual buyout. She's SAG. She's SAG-AFTRA.
Yep, she is.
Jennifer Hale is SAG-AFTRA.
Yep, she is.
The thing that I thought was funny that I feel no one really seemed to notice, and it ties into that Kyle doofus who got really upset and butthurt that he didn't get recasted in Mob Psycho. And he was trying to bring in like, this is just me. Unions preach one thing and do another. And they're trying, this just ties in with the whole argument for the SAG-AFTRA sort of thing. And I do have friends that are in the industry. I mean, nothing against them if they're SAG. But this is a prime example of what the whole Helena and Jennifer Hale situation could have been. Is specifically in Hale's tweets, she brings up the idea. She brings up and states that my reputation speaks for itself.
Oh, that was a fucking KO punch. That was great.
It was a KO punch, exactly. But here's the thing. Say that it turned out that what Helena was saying was true. Do you think for a second Jennifer Hale would say, you know what, I'm actually going to step down from the role and give it back to Helena? Do you think for a second that she would do that?
No.
No. And that was the thing that I hope maybe people could kind of get an understanding of what the whole argument for SAG-AFTRA and stuff, because they try to sprinkle it with the whole, well, you'll get better pay, you'll be covered and get deductibles or what have you, better health ability to get health insurance and stuff, which is fine. I understand that, yeah, and you can take that as you will. But in the end, it doesn't matter if the prominent SAG-AFTRA people are in the position of power, because they're not going to give you the roles that they are offered. And
Nope.
I guarantee you, because I think her original tweet, or like the people who did the studio for Bayonetta, said, well, we went through all these additional roles, these wonderful auditions, and we're just going to give it to Jennifer Hale. I fucking guarantee you they did not listen to any of those auditions.
No, of course they didn't. They're like,
And
oh, we got Jennifer Hale, amazing. Everyone else is it's over.
mhm,
They
there are
didn't
such
care.
things as bad unions, Greg. There is. The second I saw how Helena Taylor looked, I had feeling she was wrong and insane.
Holy
Sounds like
Lord.
something a lot of VO wants, believe us or get the block. Well, my whole situation is imagine you have your LA union actors coming on over here in Texas and try to get inside the Crunchyroll
Oh yeah.
Texas, a non-union working place. You think the non-union people in power, the Fatsos, the bald Sabbath and stuff, you think for a second they're going to give up their power?
Of
You
course not.
honestly think that they would allow? Because let me tell you something. LA actors and Texas actors hate each other. I know that.
That's exactly why they instituted all these little fucking minuscule like micro rules about having to. Oh well, you can't record remotely now. Oh, you have to be in studio in Texas to record, and you have to have your COVID shots. Like it's little tiny micro fucking rules put in specifically to keep these types of people out.
Mm-hmm. But yet, some people, from what I've heard, get special privilege
Of course,
and can do remote work.
of course.
I want to support Kyle, but him and his VO buddies are determined to judge and gatekeep anyone who doesn't think like them. And that's kind of where I'm getting with this whole situation. Is in the end, they're going to, like, the gatekeepers will continue to be gatekeeping, and if you want to pick between who's worse, L8 gatekeepers or like non-union gatekeepers, have at you. But like when they're trying to insert union ideas into a non-union place, it's not going to go well.
No.
It's not going to go well at all. I also believe Kyle was celebrating people losing their jobs over not getting the chab. So JT plays. I don't know if I can bring that up. That wasn't specifically Kyle, but that was, and that's another thing too that ties in with the whole if Helena was telling the truth and Jennifer Hale, um, and she wasn't getting paid that way, and Jennifer Hale, if she would step down for that role or give Helena the role back, um, one of Kyle's colleagues from a voice actor who was in Psycho Mob straight up threatened other actors that they should not audition for these roles. Mm-hmm.
So ridiculous.
I wonder if I can find a. I really wish I could find that. Wait a minute. I think it was on Bounding into Comics. Bounding into Comics. You always come and save me. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, Rod says, I mean, look at the police unions. Those guys can straight up murder people and walk away with paid vacation. The only VOs I support are guys like Vic and Eric. Because here's the thing. Here's what you learn. Is because if you want to know who exactly the true, legit, good actors are, it's the people who at the end of the day can turn off the switch and stand firm in their beliefs and be likable for having different beliefs that goes against the crowd. That's with Eric and that's with Vic. What you see is what you get. They're genuinely nice people and people that the other VO people can't understand why people crowd around them. It's because, funny enough, when you're genuine, you tend to like people who are true and who are just themselves. And it gives you the chance and opportunity to either try to get to know them more or say, they're not for me. And, go about their way. I need to get Vic on the show too.
Vic is great.
Let's see.
Poor guy just keeps continuously getting nonsense.
What's up?
Vic just continually keeps having these fucking psychos come after him.
And
speaking of psycho mobs,
and unfortunately, that's the thing that I kind of agree with Nick on, and this is just legitimately who Vic is as a person. I've yet to hang out with him. I would love to. This is just from observation, from what I've heard to other people. I wish Vic was more assertive about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And being a Christian myself, there are some Christians who do understand, who know to ignore the haters, to turn the other cheek and whatnot. And that's going down a whole rabbit hole of scripture, because you can kind of discuss actually what Jesus was talking about that. But there are some people who are of the faith who tend to think that because you're a Christian, you have to let people walk over you, and that's 100% not true. And I think that's something that Vic should have been a little bit more assertive about. I think he should have nipped the bud when it really became exploded, because I know he had to do I know that was one of the things that they try to get him on is, he's had what are they called, events where he had to disown the gossip and stuff like that. Well, first and foremost, if people are talking shit about you, I don't see what's the fucking problem of hanging out with people and going, yeah, all the stuff that you're hearing about me is not fucking true. It doesn't mean you're confessing a guilt or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the bozos try to paint that as. But I think in the end, Vic should have been a little bit more assertive about that.
Yeah, I think like I've had conversations with him about it too, and a lot of it is I think he's had too many people that are not for his best interest. Unfortunately, one of those being Lisa Hansel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that she had his best interest in mind, and I think that there's people, because there's a lot of people when I had Ron Toye on the YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
for the interviews. There's a lot of people that were telling Vic to disassociate with me because I'm this, I'm that, and whatever else, blah 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 blah. And they're saying that I'm using him, I'm doing this and all that. This is all the stuff that they were doing. These people were the ones using him. These people were the ones like dragging him around by a leash. and trying to get famous off his name and trying to squeeze all this stuff. I wasn't. Like I knew the risk of what it would be bringing Toye onto the channel, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was going to get a lot of shit for it. So like I wasn't doing it to get famous. What the fuck? Like who the fuck is that? Like who the fuck is Ron Toye? He's not going to get me famous. Like the whole point is that he was going to go on somebody's YouTube channel, and I didn't trust anybody else to be able to get the shit that I got out of him
Mm-hmm.
other than myself. And so it's like, all right, well, and then we're going to have a very small time to do it because someone's going to spook him off the internet, which they did immediately. After, so like, I can't remember who interviewed him afterwards, but they basically went in on him. He shut right down, and he's not done an interview since. So it's one of those things. Like there's a lot of people that have a lot of different motivations, and there's a lot of people that were bad actors around Vic, literally and figuratively. But it's very unfortunate that he has to question who he can trust in such a manner. So
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the info, Blazer. Does everything sound better? I did have Cress on the high end a little bit, so hopefully everything's adjusted on my end. Did you just say Mob Psycho? Yeah, and my thoughts about you, Crest, didn't change when I heard that you had Ron on the show. Like, I just
Mhm.
the idea of doing your best to try to listen to the other side is it is hard, but it's necessary because you want to understand where they're coming from. And but it's hard. Like for me, I can be pretty extreme on some stuff too because I've heard enough of it to go no matter what you're going to say, it's not going to convince me.
Exactly.
And that's just the way the world works. So why would you waste all your time and energy trying to convince people of XYZ when you could just be with other like-minded individuals
Mhm.
and just have a good time over there? I mean, that's what I mean, I take friendship very seriously. And
Four course,
what's up?
four course baseball.
Oh
That's
gosh.
such a great meme.
I take friendship very seriously. And I mean, Eric and I don't agree on everything.
Hmm.
There's some of the stuff I think he that could have been a little bit different that but that's what makes us grow together as friends is because it doesn't matter if at times we disagree with one another or you should have handled it differently. And we even say each other's like we would say like now this is what I think, and you can take it as you can take it as it is. This is what I would do in this situation, even wording it in a specific way and stuff. But you grow stronger as human beings and individuals when you learn the difference between people. But then
Well,
there's also a time and a limit where it's 100% appropriate to be like I'm done. Like,
absolutely. And you have to talk to your opposition. It's
mhm,
like it's really easy to get wrapped up in one's own little universe and
mhm,
be like, "Oh my god, like everything is horrible," and like think, "Oh, the whole world sees the strife, and oh my god, I have to address it because the whole world." No, for the most part, the whole world doesn't even know you exist. They don't care about you. They don't know you exist. But if you
mhm,
want to, for long term and long-term ability to defend yourself if this stuff actually pops up, then you have to lay down this information and be reasonable, or at least have a point of when you were reasonable, because when it eventually if it eventually does blow up to the part where the entire world sees it, they'll see the side that was reasonable, and they'll see the side that was a flaming lunatic, and they can make their opinions off of that at that point.
mhm. I found the one thing. Here's what this
Sweet.
bozo said about the mop cycle. To fans of the show and these actors, your voice has a lot of clout. Okay. Let Crunchyroll know how you feel. To voice actors everywhere, this is not how you want to break into the business. So he's already threatening you that there's a specific way to break into the business. Stay away from this recast. Why?
Why? So fucking Jennifer Hale can come in and
Yeah, respect from your fellow performers is priceless, and karma is a bitch.
oh my god. Wow. See, that exact thing should get him yeeted from the fucking business. It's
Exactly,
sad that
but
it
then,
doesn't.
yeah, but of course not. The only thing I'll say on this is to those who are frustrated by the situation, do not. This is the whole mob cycle, Crunchyroll refusing to listen about SAG stuff.
Mhm.
Do not direct your ire towards any actor or director involved in this, but then you have this bozo, uh, straight up threatening actor.
Yeah.
Man,
Your reputation is priceless.
oh man. I mean, I am one of where, and I think this is where LA people, SAG people, don't seem to remember. And I don't know 100% about it is, but I am of the fan of you're all expendable.
Mhm.
You, if we no longer think you're necessary for the role, your ass is fucking replaced. That's what I think.
Exactly.
And that's this. And again, this is why people like Hale and stuff, if they're into this situation, they're straight as hell not going to give the little people their roles.
Mhm.
But there is someone who claims they do. I'll bring that up here. I just wanted to finish what this one guy said. Those who step away choose not to, or who replace others. All of them are doing what they feel is right and just want to work. But I'm confused because again, this guy said stay away from the recasting. I need to work, so of course I would audition.
Exactly.
Oh, fucking allergies, man. I at least got my test. Good old ragweed getting me good down here.
Oh yes.
So we're gonna be fixing that too. I've met Vic. He's a sweetheart. I missed him when I was at Anime Matsuri. I had to leave because I didn't know if my car would be getting towed, and I even said I'll wait a couple more minutes, and then I got a dip. Nothing happened. Dipped immediately. Ryan, the editor, was like, "Yeah, he just came down," and I was like, "Fuck." So, mm, I just watched a video of Vic challenging a couple protesting Christian people. Those aren't Christians. I'm telling you that right now. The days of standing on the street yelling at people that you're gonna go burn in hell and all that stuff doesn't work anymore. Especially in the West. I'm telling you that right now. In fact, at Anime Matsuri, I did the same thing. A guy was screaming at all the cosplayers and stuff like that. I called him a wolf in sheep's clothing. Got him to admit that apparently, even confessing your sins and admitting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and based on your faith and good works, uh, can affect your, going on a little tangent here of that stuff. Apparently, that was not scripturally based. So I knew right away
Shocking.
this guy had no idea what he was talking about. Also, the fact if you only get the people quoting Old Testament stuff, that's another thing too. But that's that's going down a rabbit hole and stuff. But no, as a Christian, you should. If people genuinely want to know the word, don't pull your punches and tell them the word, but don't be a douche about it. Like you can, I'm all for one for being blunt at times, but nah, the fire and brimstone stuff is done. You're not fucking Jonah. You're not Jonah and able to inform the Ninevites. You're in the to meet Vic one day, says Chaos Smash. Me too. So I think something's wrong with my mouth because I think it double clicks.
Oh
That's why you
no.
see stuff pop up and then it just disappears right away. There are over 4,000 recognized religions in the world. Well, again, I have no problem talking about it, but we're just here to hang out and stuff like that. So
That's
we're
no
here
big.
to make fun of people. I don't
It's
know
no
if that's
big.
Christian based, but I'm like Bugs Bunny. Fight fire with fire, I say. That's just me being a little facetious. But let's go ahead. And speaking of showcasing on how awesome you are by wanting equality in the voice acting industry,
Oh, of course.
I want to bring up something that some people may have seen lately, and that has to involve a certain voice actor, Jamieson Price, who is the voice, was the voice actor for Chad. And I'm going to state right away Chad is half Japanese and half Mexican, if I'm not mistaken. But he got on the trending on Twitter for saying some stuff that I think is hilarious. So let's go ahead and we'll bring that up. And I'd love to get your take on this, Cress. This is going to be hilarious. So, to all the many fans of Bleach, I love being a part of the Bleach universe and voicing Chad. It it is it was a difficult decision to say no to coming back for the year Blood Wars, I think is what that is, the new Bleach that's coming out. But I no longer audition for roles of people of color. Representation matters. Access matters.
Beta.
Oh yeah. We're just getting started. Look at this fucking thread. Look at this thread.
Good. If you need like a fucking wall of text to describe why you're not racist, then you probably are racist.
Exactly. That was my first indication. Is so you're telling me when you get a role, your first go to is to ask what color the skin is. That's the rawest form of racism I've ever seen. Let's see. JT Play says, I really don't understand this argument. I know some wackadoodle named Kaylee Mills is drinking the Kool-Aid on this. Oh, Kaylee Mills? On what argument? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. But any case, I've had access to a very wide variety of roles in my career. Actors use their imagination and their experience to breathe life into characters we portray. We get to walk in someone else's skin for a time. Oh, again on skin. We practice empathy. We feel and we learn. Access to opportunity in anime has not been equal. But that has changed, really. By stepping aside now, I open the door of access and give opportunity to an actor who can represent Yasutara Sato with the same love and pride and imagination, but with more life experience than I have. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I didn't really read all this. I kind of skimmed through it. I wanted my initial reaction.
You know what
dear
would
Lord.
actually solve this entire situation? What would fix this entire bullshit argument of, well, people of color aren't represented? Not having a single fucking voice acting company, like not having only one dubbing studio, period. Having multiple dubbing studios to have the option to have people of color only working there, or whatever else, whatever you want to do, go for it. Because guess what happens in Japan? Guess how many white people and black people and non-Japanese people are voicing people in Japan? Fucking nobody at all.
That was, I took it to the, like, I can, like, obviously what you said, Cress, I 100% agree with. I humorously went to the extreme and said, just shut down the dubbing industry then.
Yeah.
If this is how it's going to be. Which is funny enough because and there's comments in here of intelligent people going, I don't understand. Like, shouldn't you be casted for like just your performance? And if you're a white person who did the best performance to voice Chad, that you should get the role. He responded to that, by the way. It wasn't me.
God.
I should have said something. I think I what did I post? Oh, I think wait a minute. Did I upload it? Oh no, I just reposted this video. I just quote tweeted him and reposted this video.
Hollywood been rotting your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleek, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout.
There you go.
It's true.
That's it. That's it. This is all diversity clout. That's exactly what these bozos.
Oh, and Elaine Mesa, the guy that is replacing him, he's an American. He's American. Was born in Miami, Florida.
The only dubs I'm looking forward to is from Anime Matsuri. Yeah, I actually need to see the two OVAs that they did. I missed out on it. But anywho, thank you all for all the love and support you have shown me over the years. Please welcome Elaine Mesa that you just mentioned, Cress, to the role of Chad. He's got some big shoes to fill. Do your best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. So here's my question. This is the thing I don't understand. If this was such a weight upon your soul as this person is making it out to be, why did you accept the role years before?
Exactly.
I don't like. Well, I do know why. I'm being facetious, but it's mind-boggling the mental gymnastics these people go through. Oh, here we go. I respect your decision, so I hope you don't think me asking this in a bad faith. But does that also apply to Japanese characters, ones who are meant to be Japanese at least? Great question. In my opinion, as we reinterpret the Japanese culture, right there, right fucking there. Your job is not to reinterpret the Japanese culture.
No.
Your job is to fucking say the lines that translate from the Japanese culture. You said it best, Cress, on a show once, that you should be given the best fucking presentation of this craft, of this genre, of this artwork to its 100% capacity. Reinterpretation should not be involved in that at fucking all.
No.
And it is 100% bullshit. Like I call bullshit to anybody who has translated and written the scripts for Crunchyroll, who inserted all those fucking stupid patriarchy lines. And, you know, I know that was marked Fatso Boy, but it is not fucking hard to get across something that we may not understand and is specifically a Japanese culture. I can fucking find better lines than the shit that they pull out of their ass.
Exactly. Well, and when you look at it, they change the thing. So like they'll go in and they'll modify it so it's completely different than what it used to be. And then the people in North America, was like, wow, that's really fucking stupid. Who made this? And then you look up who made it, and it's like, wow, that Japanese person is a fucking moron. But no, it's like, no, if you look at the original context of it, it was brilliant. And then it was brought over and it was dumbed down for our audiences because they think that everyone's a fucking single brain cell moron like they are. Like,
oh my gosh, Chaos. I didn't notice it. Chaos pointed out, really quoting Maya Angelou. It makes me think of Mr. Poopy Butthole. So who here thinks they know the work of Maya Angelou? Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. There it is, right there. Oh my gosh. I want to find the one where he actually went into discussion about nationality. That got me good. Well, it's not just, okay, respect your decision, but I don't understand why it's become such a problem to voice someone who is a different ethnicity than yours. So many black voice actors voice white people. And then there's a bunch of people. It sucks how some people can't voice the people they want. I've been saying this, but I'm going to say this right now. First off, I've been saying expect a lot of this to start popping up more. And also expect the part that aside from the white people, well, I'm just going to say, aside from the white people in power, expect to start seeing feminist, person of color, LGBTQ, expect to start seeing them not only voicing the people that directors are like, well, you should represent them because, you know, XYZ. Expect them to start start voicing white people too. Expect them to start becoming a more prominent figure, because that's what's going to happen. And they're completely erasing the idea of, and anyone who says otherwise is fucking lying. And actually, I do have someone up who will look at her tweets here in a second.
And this Jameson guy is a fucking idiot. Like his next tweet here is like, it's not Jameson. It's not your fucking it's not your responsibility to give people a fucking job. You should be holding the pieces of shit at Funimation, now Crunchyroll, and Sony, and everywhere else. You should be holding your fucking businesses accountable for employing people and say, look, Why aren't you creating more jobs for people like this? Why are you only hiring the fucking Jennifer Hales of the world? Why are you doing that? Why are
Mhm.
you only creating like jobs for specific people? Why aren't you doing this elsewise? It's not your fucking job. It's not
Oh,
the voice actor's job. Dumbass.
exactly. Oh, here it is. Acting is meant for an art. Acting is meant to be an art for those involved to step into the shoes of anyone. Yes, especially voice acting, but even more than representation, access matters. White people have enjoyed greater access to opportunity for far too long, to the detriment of others. I carefully examine each role to see if I am blocking access inappropriately. Right there. You just admitted you're a racist, dude.
Like it literally is not your fucking job to do that, Jameson. Voice the fucking role, Captain Asshole. Like
Mm-hmm.
what, we have to go out and get fucking turtles to voice the Ninja Turtles because you're blocking access to fucking turtles? Give me a break, dude.
Yeah.
What a fucking
My
break your
my
fucking arms patting yourself on the back, dude.
diversity cloud, and this is what my biggest thing of this whole thing is that he literally thinks he's combating racism by being a racist. This is what these people think, and it always makes me laugh that these people do not get the fact that just because you are against racism, sexism, all this stuff, that does not mean that your entire life should be based by basing every situation and analyzing what sex was involved, what race was involved, XYZ, because
Like
that's how
Jesus
you're a
Christ.
racist.
Like, do you, like when you're hired for a job, it's like, oh, here you go. You're hired to be the maintenance worker and sweep and wash toilets. It's like, do you go into that job and be like, oh well, how many people of color were interviewed for this? I want to make sure that I'm not taking away the job from a poor black man. Like, no one does that. No one does that in any fucking facet of reality at all.
Salaz 94. Yes. Being Latino, mouse in the house. Being Latino, I appreciate your candor in the name of better representation of actors and characters of color. Good on you, man.
You know, look at the fucking soy face on that one.
Salaz 94. Being Latino, I find this utterly ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you, Salos.
I understand both sides, and I have to say, combating the inequalities of the world with voice acting roles is both delusional and stupid. The thing is that this is my take. This is self-imposed fear. This is a lie that they've created, and now are saying they're saving you from said lie. And
Mhm.
literally, what this guy is saying by stepping back from this role is he may not be saying it with words, but his actions are showing that he apparently thinks people of color can never ever get a role based on their merits and talent. It has
Yeah.
to be given to him.
Yep.
That's what he's saying.
Which is horrifically racist
Yes, exactly.
at its base.
Oh, I'm trying to find. Dang it! I'm trying to find the one he responded to where like he started getting into the idea about nationalism. Because someone actually pointed out what I
For
said,
fuck's sakes.
where I said, well, then just don't voice act anything. Let's see. It's not just about pigmentation. When a character has an additional layer, whether ethnicity, gender, accent, casting today includes those specifications. It was different 20 years ago. And there are more voice actors available now. It's also about sharing access. Again, going with the fucking retarded sharing access. You could tell he was on the defense on how much he's
Absolutely.
responding.
He's so fucking high on his own farts. Oh
No.
God, the Murphy beard.
Dude. I'm hearting
Oh
that.
my fucking God.
That is amazing. What a photo. Oh, not the person who made that post. That post is beautiful. Oh man, that beard. That is perfect. Where is do I have to go lurking through the early posts? I really want to find the one, Cress, about the nationality one, because I think I read that one a little bit and I just laughed. Well, it's anime in Japanese, and we're interpreting it for a Western English-speaking audience. As long as the character doesn't rely on their ethnicity, I
Are
think
you
there's some room
fucking
for casting. What?
kidding me?
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? Like this is some sort of like fucking pretzel he's twisting himself into. Holy shit, dude. It's perfectly okay to voice people of color as long as the setting setting can be transplanted for a Western audience. So if everyone in like the main characters are all Japanese and there's one Hispanic person in it, that person has to be voiced by a Hispanic person because everyone else can be voiced by white people. They rely on their race. What the fuck does that even mean?
Oh.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Well, I might have to find the nationality comment later on and send it to you. That one was hilarious. He went into
There's a reason why people watch the fucking subs, because they want to hear what the character is meant to sound like in the original context. Like,
oh, dude,
fuck?
Joe, what's up? I think Rod should do all the voiceovers. Joe Ball is in the chat. Cress, that's the comic book artist I was telling you about.
Awesome. Hi, Joe. We were talking about you.
We were.
Good.
Look at me plugging in death when you're not even on the show. We connected through our love for Ava. Hope you're doing well, Joe. Hey, hope you're doing well, Joe. We're just talking about the clowning that is the voiceover industry, specifically LA freaks and Crunchyroll stuff. I swear, I will find that nationality one. Like, he went so far to explain, like, well, no, because really that's nationality. And I'm just like, dude.
It might be under his like tweets and replies one, because that will just show everything that he replied to.
Oh, how do you?
It's on his profile. You just go to tweets and replies.
Oh my gosh. You think I would see? I'm actually happy I didn't really think about that, because that goes to show on how much I'm not on Twitter.
Well, number one, you're using light mode like an absolute degenerate. So.
Light mode?
There's a thing called dark mode that you should get acquainted with. So you don't
look,
burn your retina.
We're already knee deep in talking about POC and stuff. All right, you know.
How dare you have a white Twitter, Greg?
I know. Actually, I leave it in white mode because it actually lights up my camera, because I'm fucking lazy and I need to get lighting. I'm really bad. I need to get lighting bad. Oh, where is that insane thing? Maya Angelou. Oh my gosh, that got me good. That got me so good.
Oh my god.
But Chad identifies as a person of color, talks of his dark skin and mestizo blood. That's different.
Was that actually the context, or was that context that was written in by retarded translators?
I read the manga, and I think he mentions it once. He can't use dark mode. That's just more racism. Greg is retarded for using light look. Oh. Look, guys. Look. As a dying breed that is ginger, I have to hold on as much as I can, man. You see this fucking skin? You see how fucking there's no pigment left? I'm like a ghost of a person.
It's because you're absorbing all that white from Twitter right now.
I know, dude. It's the only way I can get a tan. Leave me alone. Check the quote tweets. I could have sworn. I don't want to. Yeah. Well, now my ADHD and my my autism is starting to kick in. And I do not want to move until I fucking find this thing. But I shan't. I shall must break away from being OCD. Click other thing. Okay. I can do it, guys. I can do it. Okay, so I have no idea who this person is, but I thought her response was hilarious. Let me get this up here. And this ties into the idea of, and this is just for acting in general. If you do a fucking phenomenal job on the performance, your skin color should not fucking matter.
No, shouldn't matter.
Just throw Greg's pink ass in a tanning salon. I would probably die. I would have to like first dive into the pool of suntan lotion, and then get into the tanning.
His bones would scorch.
What's up?
It's like your bones would get a tan before your before the rest of your body.
Let me see if this is the. She made 2. Well, I got them both up. So this is Shara Kirby, and she actually made a response to the thing Price was saying. But this is the one specifically I wanted to showcase. Not to mention, anime dubbing industry casting is way different from Western animation industry casting and even more racial biased. But yes, let's listen to the bigots and weebs who clearly know more than we do. And she was talking about how, like, oh, Samurai Jack was voiced by Phil Lamar, I think. And so she's spouting off this insanity. And then we have another one. I believe it's this one. Why would I ever listen to someone who isn't in the industry I'm working in? Why the hell would I agree with a bigot who clearly has their own fucked up bias on the matter? I guess she's responding to something. I'm not spreading that vid around because it's so full of false equivalents and BS that it's making my hangover even more of a headache. Oh, you probably shouldn't have been drinking there. There's so much going on behind the scenes y'all don't know, so stop acting like you do just because you see a few over many. Oh, here we go.
Well, you don't better if they actually shared it
in any capacity. Cool. I would love nothing more than to hear your thoughts and opinion about said industry and how you think it should operate.
It's like, this is the thing. It's like, why are they complaining that people don't know about what goes on in the industry, but yet they won't fucking talk about it? Like,
yeah,
you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, or you're going to talk about it? No, then shut your fucking mouth. Like,
dang, there was one man. One of the comments that I saw that she made that was funny was it was literally based on the fact of I'm in the industry, and like anyone who says that you should be like casted like based on your performance alone, it's not true. That's not how it works.
mm-hmm.
Like, and I wanted it, but I mean, you pretty much got the message from this weirdo. Oh, she's actually in Bleach. She's Francesca Mila Rose, apparently. That's oh, and I found a video of her walking outside near nobody wearing a mask. So that just explains that. But yeah, like the insanity of the voiceover industry that these people just keep spewing this garbage over and over and over. It's oh, she was in the Fullbringer arc. Oh, was she? Whatever. It's been a long time. I haven't read I haven't read any of Bleach every now and then. But yeah, that was my biggest thing of the voiceover insanity that I saw was with Price. Like the audacity to, like, you're legitimately giving handouts because you think these people aren't like having the access, to which if you got first and foremost, if you build up connections, you technically don't need an agency. However, they'll have a lot of connections. You're pretty much paying for their connections. with an agency.
Pretty much.
But with having an agency, you do get sent the roles. You do get them,
Yep.
and you can audition for them. So I do not believe for a second the fucking access exists, because everything's like digital now. Like these people are getting roles sent to them left and right, like
Of
to try
course.
to audition.
Of course.
It's legitimately who is making the casting decision and the hiring. And take a big fucking wild guess of the powers in play. What color are those people's skin, I wonder?
Yeah, exactly.
And
It
again,
it
like
doesn't
what I
come
was
down to the
saying, like the
actor
whole
accepting the fucking role. It comes down to the fucking people going in and
Mhm.
assigning it. Like, give me a break. Like,
Yeah, that just made me laugh. Just insane. I'm glad to hear your takes on it, Cress. It got me giggling. I loved it so much. That's all I saw on the voiceover stuff. But let's go ahead and transition a little bit. You have gotten on your Twitch. You have started going down the VTubers,
yeah.
and I'm curious to know kind of what sparked that idea and wanting to transition over into having your Umbreon.
Yeah. Well, largely it's laziness.
Oh, dude,
Largely
if
comes
I
down to
could have
laziness.
just fucking, if I could, long time ago, never have like shown my face, I probably would just do commentary, like
Yeah.
gaming and stuff like that. You're smart.
Oh, like it's one of those things. Like when you're on Twitch, like you have to have some sort of visual representation of you on the screen, because like that I've learned, people will like many people will not watch a stream unless there's like some sort of cam or some sort of thing where they can see the person there for
Mhm.
whatever reason. I don't know why. That's what it's like. People will just see the channel. Oh, they're playing a video game. Okay, cool. If it's a video game they like, they'll stick around, whatever else. But more times out of not, they will stick around if there's like a cam, or if there's a person on the screen, or if there's like a VTuber or something on the screen. So I would have my cam on all the time, but in order to have the cam on, you have to look presentable. So it's just like I have to have my hair done. I have to have like not look like a slob, not look like I'm fucking tired, and have my fucking room clean. And like 9 times out of 10, I just want to chill. I just want to like come home from work and chill and not have to fucking do all of this shit and get ready for a stream. So yeah, VTubing is like 1,000 times easier because you just throw on the VTube avatar and there you go.
Rude. Continue.
So yeah, it's 1,000 times easier just to throw on the VTuber avatar and whatever else. And I thought it was a pretty cool idea because like I've been doing a lot of Pokemon stuff recently. I've got
Mhm.
into a Twitch extension called Pokemon Community Game, so with my channel being themed Umbreons, I thought it was a pretty cool idea. So I went on Etsy, got myself a VTuber avatar rig, and it's rigged beautifully. It's a very nice avatar, very well done, and people just really liked it. Just really liked it. So
Very cool. So did you go like down kind of like do a little bit of research or anything when it comes to like VTubing, that sort of thing, or is it just mostly you just wanted a rig to where it's it's set up, it's ready to go. It's just you could just turn this on, you turn that on,
that's pretty much
get
it.
this
Like I
going
have
for
no
you.
fucking clue how to actually build one. Like that's
Hmm.
far beyond the scope of what I'm able to do. Like I understand the layers of animation that go through it. Like I can understand what goes into building it, but I have absolutely no idea how to like actually get the animations to move and shit like that. Like
Mm.
that's far beyond me. But
Was
no,
the oh, sorry.
yeah, no, there's like a few different programs that you need to either edit them, and then there's different file types for them, and there's like different programs that you can use to run the rig itself. Thankfully, I found one that worked really well on Steam, and so I've been using that. So yeah, it's I didn't do any research. I just kind of jumped headfirst into it.
Oh, okay. Cause would you say that like since becoming like a VTuber that you're getting more traction and stuff from people who like VTubing as well, sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot more people. I used to stream, and to answer Rod's question, I have played Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Coliseum
I
and
was
all
gonna
that
bring
stuff.
that up, but you sunk.
Yeah, it's like I went from just like 5 or 6 viewers consistently, to having about like 30 to anywhere between 30 and 100 viewers on Twitch consistently. So it's definitely, I think that's largely because I stream in Pokemon community game as well, but I think large part was because of the VTuber aspect of it. Definitely brings in a different group of people for sure.
Now I know you were trying to fix some of the problems that have been that you've kind of been seeing inside of the community, because there's been on times when I've been watching your stream and stuff that, oh geez, I don't know the lingo. What is it like? Sweating or something like that? Or
Yeah.
I'm really. You'd think the amount of time I listen to your streams in the background, I would catch up on the lingo, but it's always over my head.
Yeah. Oh, and Chaos, I've played Pokemon. I've played Pokemon Tournament. I haven't really played a lot of it. I've played Pokemon Unite and all that stuff. And I'm not a huge fan of those ones, but just because of the limited aspect of them. But to answer your question, Greg, it's an issue with the Pokemon community in general, not just Pokemon
Oh,
community
okay.
game. Pokemon community game is actually probably one of the last bastions of wholesomeness in the Pokemon community. Because I used
Mm.
to stream when I started in Twitch. Funny story, I used to stream under Pokemon trading card game online. I used to play that all the time. And fun fact is that all the people that were streaming trading card game online when I was are not doing it anymore. Not a single streamer streams that anymore, even though they all got to partner from doing it. So
Wow.
it was basically people get into the Pokemon community and they fake like they like Pokemon. They fake personalities and they fake knowledge about it whenever else, and they understand that largely the Pokemon community is just there to get the free thing. They don't care what it is. They don't care how expensive or how cheap it is. If they can get a free thing out of it, they want the free thing, and they're going to go and get it. If there's no free thing, they're not going to go for it. So like once some Twitch people, like once some Twitch streamers picked up on that, then they would start hosting like giveaways. They would start hosting things like that. But the caveat would be, oh, you have to be a sub. Oh, you have to be following for 30 days. Oh, you have to be watching at the time, blah, blah, blah. So their view counts went up, 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 and they would never have to give anything out. It's the whole like Mr. Beast situation, right? Like they do it once and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm going to get something. And so they watch all the time. And then as soon as they got partner, the day they got partner, they never streamed Pokemon ever again. They went to different things and did their thing. So it's just like that. Largely, the Pokemon community is extremely toxic because of a lot to do with the YouTube community, and a lot to do with people just taking advantage of it and people falsely standing in as and presenting themselves as Pokemon YouTubers and content creators and all that
Oh,
shit.
I see. I was gonna say how is the YouTube community inflecting
Well,
it, but you kind of just answered that.
yeah, so like anyone that understands or has ever watched a Verlisify video, you can see the absolute clapback that Verlisify gets when he says anything about Pokemon, period. But it's largely because there's so many people. It's such a corrupt thing, for the large fact, especially the official like Pokemon leagues and stuff like that now, because the rule sets are very loose in Pokemon in terms of official capacity. So like when you're going into tournaments, like official Pokemon League tournaments and worlds and stuff like that, rules are very loose, and it basically comes down to like the judges making decisions. And if the judge doesn't like you, they can just make up arbitrary things because the rule sets, there's no set
Hmm.
stone rule sets for Pokemon. It's all spirit of the game and have fun, and it's all up to interpretation. It's all up to the skill of the player and how the judges interpret this and that. So they allow a lot of stuff that goes unchecked. abuse of time, like timer abuse and stuff like that. They let that happen. They literally let people hack Pokemon into the game for Pokemon video game tournaments. Like you don't even have to train the Pokemon yourself. They can just type in the stats that you want, type in the moves that you want, type in the natures and whatever else. The stuff that you would normally have to like farm for like months in the game, they can just pop it right in the game immediately. And they allow that for use in official tournaments. So like people get called out for that, and they get really mad when they get called out for it. And it's just that little toxic circle that just keeps eating itself. But in Pokemon community game, it's largely insulated from that because a lot of the people that play in Pokemon community game have either never played a Pokemon game before, or they've only played Pokemon Showdown from Smogon and stuff like that. So they come over from that and they think they're the be all end all. And that's what I point to when I'm talking about like toxic sweating people and stuff like that, because they go into like the casual side of the game mode and they act like it's a world championship, and they're assholes to people regardless if they're new players, whatever else. The spirit of Pokemon is supposed to be that everyone participating is having fun. Whether you're a player for like 20 years or you're a player for 5 minutes, you should be playing in a manner that is fun for everyone that is involved. That's the spirit of the game. That's what the game is supposed to be played like. And the whole thing is like if you have been a player for a very long time, your role in Pokemon should be that you're mentoring and you're helping out newer players so that they can get to your level and surpass you. That's the whole point. That's the entire point of the leagues, what they should have been, and unfortunately not a lot of what they are now. But that's what I try to bring to Pokemon community game, and it's largely being received fairly well. So
that's good, because I thought I saw you you were typing up like the rulings. Was that just for like your community or something?
Yeah,
like that?
so I made 2 guides, and they're unofficial guides, but I made 2 guides, one for like introductory into like
They're
how
official to
PCG
me.
is different than regular Pokemon, because it is very, very different. And and the second guide is an advanced battling guide of like how to take more advanced approaches in battles and how you can do that stuff. So
Cool. Actually, hold on just a second. I gotta
yeah,
step out real
sure.
quickly. Chaos. Hey, Alfarius and Chaos is asking, have you ever read the Pokemon manga?
I have, yes. And the Pokemon manga is actually kind of serious. Like that shit goes really, really deep into Pokemon lore. I love it personally because the video games kind of really they touch on some things, but they don't. That they allude to some things, but they don't. But the manga just doesn't fucking care. The manga is just like, yeah, we're just gonna slice a fucking Arbok clean in half. Like we're gonna have Blaine splice his DNA with fucking Mewtwo and have an absolute war over Mount Cinnabar with Lance. Like the Elite Four were created to dominate the world and to just eliminate any opposition because they believed that they were superior because of their connection with Pokemon, and they thought that people were abusing Pokemon. So they were going up to the Elite Four were created to destroy like civilization, and the gym leaders held badges of power to kind of help keep them in check. But Team Rocket was formed to combat the Elite Four, and that's the entire reason that Sabrina and Lieutenant Surge were part of Team Rocket, was because they were going to war with the Elite Four to stop the Elite Four from basically going and ransacking everything, because Lance destroyed Cinnabar Island. The fight between Lance's Dragonite and Blaine's Mewtwo caused the volcano to erupt because they were just literally having a fucking Dragon Ball Z fight over Cinnabar Island. Lance attacked and destroyed Vermilion City because Lieutenant Surge was considering joining Team Rocket. And like it was insane. Like it was actually like, this is crazy stuff. Like the whole reason why Red was in Mount Silver was because the Elite Four were hunting him. Like that's why he was hiding in Mount Silver. Because and like Lance had like there's certain people that have connections with Pokemon. So like Lance had a connection with Dragon type, so he could mentally communicate with Dragon type Pokemon and consistently heal them. So like he had that ability. So like there's so much in the manga that was like when you look at the games, there's elements of that in the games, and that's what I love about it. So it was pretty cool. Oh, I'd love to see the manga get an anime adaptation.
I remember reading a little bit of the manga. I should go back and check them out.
Oh yeah, no, they were intense. They were very, very intense.
I meant to ask, did your VTubing Rick, did you actually design that Umbreon and then gave it to you said the person over at Etsy to rig it up and stuff like that, or did
No,
that
no, no.
person?
So there's people on Etsy that they either do commissions or they have like pre-built ones. This was already a pre-built one that I just purchased.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
But I did see you because we mentioned it earlier that you had to change an emote. I did see you do some editing on that one.
Yeah. So funny story was this goes back to the toxicity in the Pokemon community. So I before I got to be a recommended streamer in Pokemon community game, for people who don't know, there's things called recommended and featured streamers, and they get to do like tournaments and stuff and cool stuff for the community. So I was not a recommended streamer, but I paired up with a recommended streamer to co-host a tournament because I came up with the idea for a tournament. And I wanted to have it, and I wanted to have it for like to be able to reward Pokemon for people, and to be able to do that, you needed to be recommended or featured. So I co-hosted it with the person who was recommended, and we put on, and he applied for what's considered like a battle coin. It's like a big boy, big girl tournament type of thing, where you get like an in-game reward thing for it. But anyways, so we had a really good tournament. It turned out extremely well, considering most tournaments, they get like anywhere outside of the developers, they get like usually 200, 300 people. We had 400 people on the nose for this tournament. It turned
Oh,
out
cool.
extremely well. It was very, very
Nice.
good.
Was this
And
recent?
there's a lot of people that were really pissed off because I guess I was a part of it, because there's people that have a problem with me. Big surprise. Nobody can't think of anywhere else where people have an issue with me at all. But no, they had a problem with me. They were trying to, because it was a very simple tournament. It was very straightforward, and they were trying to make it too complex, and they were complaining that it was too hard and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, these are the people that are considering themselves top battlers in the Pokemon community game. So it's hilarious to hear them say that. But after the tournament, I found out that one of my emotes got deleted by Twitch for a violation, a TOS violation. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was my little dumpy emote, my little Umbreon shaking its dumpy, little spin in its tail. And it was like the most innocent fucking emote ever to get banned for this. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I immediately thought, I'm like, okay, so it definitely got spam reported. 100% got spam reported. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had someone who had connections in Twitch speaking with somebody in Twitch about it. And sure enough, 8 people had reported it for sexual conduct,
Oh my
conduct or
gosh.
whatever. And yeah, that's what it got deleted for, was because 8 people that day reported it. One person claimed to be 13 years old and and claimed to be offended by this Umbreon spinning its tail. And the Twitch representative that looked it over, it said, "Yeah, this is not a violation. Like this emote doesn't violate it." It's like they could potentially see that maybe on dark mode something could potentially be looked at this particular way, but maybe. And so I found out that the proper process for review was not actually taken. The Twitch person that has been reviewing it, because it seems to be the same person and going back to the same person, the person that's been doing it has not been doing the proper process to log exactly what's going on. They've not been doing the proper process for reviewing the emotes. And yeah, so I'm thinking it was probably one of the partnered Twitch people that was part of this little group that dislikes me on PCG, that got a bunch of their little friends to report this, and then they spoke to their Twitch representative specifically, and they've got them to manually review my emotes and remove them. So that's the stuff that I
Clearly,
talk about. It's like the weird toxicity in the community, because they're pissed off that I'm sitting here with like 50 viewers, and they're struggling to hold 10, because all they do is just sit there and stare at the screen when I'm actually creating content. So
clearly transphobic, all these people.
clearly.
Clearly. All right. And just to showcase people, Uh, there, everyone fucking happy now? There, we're dark mode activated.
Dark mode, perfect.
There you go.
You went full black too.
It was apparently called lights out. I guess I could have gone gray. Show encased in the middle, where it's like trying to be pure but yet corrupted.
Next,
yeah, those
Greg's
guys
gonna
are a bunch
post
of
a Nigerian
assholes.
flag as his profile picture.
Wait, what?
The next Greg's gonna post the Nigerian flag as his profile picture.
Oh, true. I don't have any flags in my name. I
It's
need
true.
to showcase how much I support. I don't know. Chaos says thank you. Now pay you $50. I don't know. I don't suck and tell.
Oh, the Nuzlocks. I think Alpharius is talking about the Nuzlocks.
Oh yeah. We can pull that up. I think the Pokemon hangers on saw the popularity of all those challenges that start with an N and latched on because views Nuzlocks.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like Pokemon games, they don't have a lot of replayability. Like, it gets stale very, very quickly. You play it once and it gets extremely stale. Like, you can't just keep restarting the game and then keep playing the game vanilla over and over and over again. People are going to get bored. Nuzlocks are a way to kind of add Nuzlocks and randomizers are a way to keep you on your toes, and people are interested in that and people do speed runs and they Nuzlocke and all that stuff to give it kind of an interesting replayability aspect to it. So
There, I switched it to dim. I'm talking about I was listening. I just talk about that stuff. Yeah, and that unfortunate thing is toxicity, like just in general, that you just see creeping in, which makes no fucking sense. Again,
well,
to me,
there's no place for it. Really.
To me, it's just a matter of, again, it takes work, but go out and find people that you can relate to, whether it's their humor, their personality, or what have you, and just spend time with them. Like, why waste this time like trying to attack someone who is just trying to have a good time and to bring to bring that fun to other people to enjoy as well.
It's
And
because
like kind of what you
want to
expect.
win the internet is what it is. They
Yeah,
they don't understand. It's the same thing on YouTube. Like, and you on Twitch. This is a secret recipe for Twitch, right? Twitch is community based. It's not YouTube where everyone's an island on YouTube and whatever else, like, and you have to stand for your own brand on YouTube. Twitch is very much collaboration effort because Twitch is much smaller than YouTube and you have less of a chance of being seen. So when like you have to make the chances that you are seen count, and you get to like you have the benefits of having raids and stuff like that now, and you can bring people in and share your communities. Sharing communities is the biggest way to grow on Twitch because you never know who could be watching, and you bring people over and you collaborate. You collaborate with people, you raise people up. Destroying and sabotaging people is not the way to do it. It's ridiculous. They look at the top end, they look at like the Amaranths of the world and the Pokemanes, and they say, I want to do that. I want to win at Twitch. I want to have 2 million viewers. I want to get all the donations. I want everyone to watch me when I'm on all the time. When it's like, in reality, it's like you are actually better as a streamer on Twitch if people are watching other people. When like, if you're on, people can choose to watch somebody else, and then they can, and when that person's not streaming that day, they can come to you, and then you might be more entertaining and whatever else. I always encourage people to watch others. I always, like, every single time on my Twitch channel, I always say, don't feel like you have to be in this chat. Don't feel like you have to be in this stream all the time. If somebody else that you want to watch is on, go and watch them. Go and support them, because it's important that you support the streamers, because if you don't, and then nobody watches them, and then they go off, and then, oh, there you go, there goes your favorite streamer. I've had that happen. Like, people disappear, and then you're like, they just never stream again because they don't get the audience or they don't get whatever else. And it sucks because like you lose a bit of a friendship there. And it's like, I don't want people to lose out on anything when they're watching this stuff. And I think collaboration on Twitch is extremely important for growth. So for people that are just like, threatened by other streamers, I think that's largely because they know that they're not talented enough to hold an audience.
So what I got out of all of this is I need to show my tits more.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty
well,
much.
I'm gonna have to work on that cleavage.
Or at least like contact Dollhouse Phil and just get him to get a love doll made for you. Just have that hang out in the back with a low cut top.
True.
Life hacks.
Life hacks. Chaos Smash says, Crumb, you, Blair White, and trans conservative waifu are one of the most sane trans people I've seen on the internet. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaos. I appreciate that. I try to be normal.
Alfaria says, sane trans people do exist, but the trans trenders.
Oh yes,
I've heard
the
that
transgenders.
one. That's a good one. Activists and Spurgs drown them out. The idiots speak the loudest.
It's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
I mean, and that. Well, I mean,
if you see someone online that is flailing and screaming and has their face painted in the trans flag and whatever else, they are not the norm. I can tell you right now, most trans people, like 99.9% of trans people, want to be ignored and left the fuck alone and treated like they're not trans. They don't want to bring attention to that. The fact that they're trans. That's the goal. That's the.
That's something that still baffles me that people just can't get. I take this, and this is for anyone in general. It's like we just want to be left the fuck alone. Like,
exactly.
Dear Lord, leave us alone, sort of thing. But
That's
it's exactly like what Alfaria said. Like and you got to ask yourself, like, are they really caring about the transgender? I mean, if we're on the topic, transgenderism, or are they caring about the activism that comes from the transgenderism? And they're putting the activism first.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's largely focused. It's so funny because you see like pretty much all of the detransitioners that you see on social media, pretty much everyone that's detransitioning is female to male trans, right? FTM, like female to male trans, are like you look up detransition day or whatever else on Twitter. Every single I shit you not, every single fucking one will be a female to male trans. Every single one, because largely a lot of these individuals that are transitioning, right, or going through hormone replacement or surgeries or whatever else, largely on the female to male side, they're doing it for the attention. They're doing it for like the praise and whatever else. And nobody cares about the female to male trans. Nobody cares that, whatever else. Everyone cares about the male to female trans because, like, for whatever reason, there's this weird fixation about what you can stick your dick in today's society. And so, like, it's like, oh, can I stick my dick in that? Like, oh no, that's a man. That's a man. Oh my god, blah blah blah. No one's gonna like go out of their way to be like, well, can I stick my dick in that guy? No, they don't care. They don't. So that's why it's a big reason why everyone cares about a male to female trans, and nobody cares about a female to male. And when that happens, they don't get the attention that the male to female trans gets, and so they have that huge drop, right? They get what they want. Ultimately, if you're trans, they get the stealthiness of like, well, you're just one of the guys. You're just a dude. Yeah, okay, cool. But that's not what they want. They want what the male to female trans are getting, and like all of this attention, everyone paying attention to them, and like, oh my god, look at Chris Chan. Oh my god, look at Keffels. Oh my god, look at Blair White. Oh my god, look at this person. Oh my god, look at that person. It's like, it's so fucking weird because it's like, we don't, like, if you are trans, you don't want that attention. Like, you don't want people to know. It's like, you just want to be yourself. That's it. You just want to be yourself. You want to go about your life. But then you have these lunatics like Keffels and these like people out there that are just like Chris Chan and all that stuff that go out of their way to get attention because they're addicted to that attention. Like the Liz Fong Jones of the world. Like, they're addicted to that power, that attention, that it's so ridiculous.
That's what I legit don't get. Again, it comes back to this fact of it's like what you said, Crumb. Like, we just want to live life, and be left the fuck alone, sort of thing. And
yeah. Well, and like Chaos has said, he feels sorry for the detransitioners, especially when regret comes over them. They will, absolutely. They will regret it because they are not trans. I say that like very, very specifically because the problem is that you can walk. I literally, I'll tell you my story. I spent years researching. I spent years looking things up. I spent years taking supplements and whatever else to try and make sure that this is what I wanted to do. That this is what was helping me get out of anxiety and depression and everything else like that. I went and I'm like looking for resources. I'm like, okay, well, I have to go get an evaluation or something, right? On like, surely somebody has to evaluate me to make sure that this is okay before we go forward. So I contacted a whole bunch of places. I'm like, all right, well, where can I go to get a referral? And they're like, oh, you just go to the doctor and ask. I'm like, oh, I don't need like a psychiatric evaluation. I don't need a referral from a psychiatrist. No. You just go to a doctor. I'm like, very skeptical. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I don't have a family doctor, whatever. I'll go to the clinic down my street. Went to a walk-in clinic and said, I want to do this. I want to go on hormone replacement therapy. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like da. And the doctor's like, all right, we'll get you in for a blood test, and here's a prescription to start you off. But boom, there you go. That was it. No questions, no anything, nothing at all. It was just, okay, here you go.
And that's it's the thing. Like Nick said it before, you've said it before, Eric and I've said it before. It's, as an adult, you can do what you think is best for
Absolutely.
you, and as long as you're an adult. But these weirdos want to come out and start going after the kids and stuff like that. And it's like, let the kids have their childhood. My
Yeah.
God, like, it's insane.
And
It's
I always say, like, it took me, like, I knew, like, looking back, right? I knew as young as 7 years old that something was wrong. I knew, like, at 7 years old, like, I was, I was, in a different mindset that I was not a quote unquote boy, right? But I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that until I was about 27. It took me that fucking long to like actually comprehend what that meant and like be certain that that's what I wanted to do. So like to put the like if you give kids the choice of having Tide Pods for breakfast, of course they're going to fucking take it cuz they're stupid. They haven't had life experience. But like that's the point though. You have to and the argument for puberty blockers is such an absolute joke. It's like, oh, there's absolutely no repercussions. No, there's definitely not any repercussions at all for keeping someone a child for fucking 20 years.
Where did I hear that before?
Good Lord. What a fucking argument. No, that's so ridiculous. I say, let kids have their fucking childhood. Let them experience life. If by the time that they are an adult, they want to make a choice. Because like when I look back at it, I was so different from 18 to 19 to 20 to 21 to 23 to 25. Like I changed every fucking 6 months between that. I changed so much. I wasn't settled in who I was until I was 27. Like 27, 28 is when I really hit my stride on who I was. And even then I still didn't understand. And it took me until I think it was about 30 to actually start hormone replacement therapy. And obviously by then, by standards, I was far too late to get all of the generic changes to make me into my perfect body, whatever else. But that's fine. Big thing that I tell trans people is like, look, there is no how do I act like a X, right? There is no how do I act like a woman? How do I act like a man? Act like yourself because that's what you are. It's if you're a trans woman and you are acting a certain way, that's how women act because you are that. Period. If you're a trans man and you're like, well, how do men act? How do you act normally? Well, there you go. That's how a man acts. There's this weird like separation of like how we have to change ourselves to fit into something that we're not and to fit in this little box where it's just like, no, just act like your fucking self. That's it. Act like yourself. If you have a hormone imbalance, go out and get that addressed and live your fucking life as that. Period. Like who the hell cares what everyone else's opinion of you is? If you're happy, if you're healthy, if you're not doing anything illegal, you're not trying to diddle kids, then you're fine. That's what it is. Who the hell cares what everyone else thinks? If there's only one person sticking their dick in you, that's the only person that matters. My opinion. Listen to their opinion. Don't listen to fucking like Johnny anime avatar on the fucking internet that has 0 followers telling you that you should go kill yourself because you're X, Y, or Z. Like,
Don't be a
if
Damon
Twitter
Mills.
offends you that much, turn off the fucking Twitter. Like, go for a walk. You don't have to look at people. You don't have to look at you don't have to look at the kiwi farms.
Touch
You do
grass.
that. Like, the people that do that are so fucking obsessed with themselves. It's ridiculous.
Touch grass. Chaos
Touch
told me
grass,
to do that once. It
seriously.
was very rude.
Yeah, touch grass.
I don't know what
It's
he was
the one
thinking.
thing in the world that you can't touch that won't bring up an offensive post.
Don't be Damon Mills. I think that's a good standard.
Oh God, that fucking I literally got told that it's like, you got proven innocent. It's like no, I literally went through his Facebook live on stream and showed that the posts were actually there.
Oh man, that was
Like,
so
well,
funny.
there's no proof. Yeah, there is.
That was so funny. They will do
posts were
anything.
just those were just photoshops. No, they weren't. They were literally on
You were the best
Facebook.com.
Photoshop person I've ever seen, man. Like doing it live. So you were casting your own computer,
yeah,
while adjusting everything while also talking about it.
Exactly.
Amazing.
I am apparently fucking Doctor Strange. Apparently.
Afaria says attention seekers, narcissism, and severe daddy issues are rampant on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
More so now with that $8 blue check, baby.
I still haven't got mine. I'm pissed. I fucking signed up for Twitter Blue because I wanted the ability to edit and undo tweets. Now I can't edit tweets because they took that away for some reason. I can still undo tweets.
I keep seeing that it's only for ISO or iOS, excuse me.
I have no fucking idea.
That's what it said. It said it's only for iPhones.
That's annoying.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be fixing that too.
The unwashed masses that don't have iPhones.
I'm curious. I don't know how this works in the legal thing. I have an old iPhone, so I'm wondering if I could sign in, get the subscription, and then go back on Android. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that violates any terms. I'm just curious, so don't blame me. I'm just a humble farmer. A meme farmer, that is. Get that camera out of my face or I'll feed it to you. Chaos Mash says a trans mining their own beeswax. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Again, and it's amazing on how when you have this idea of, maybe people just want to be left alone, that a lot of things could probably be simmered down, if not resolved, to where it's like, again, let people that are responsible and want to make the decision in whatever it is, go through their life. And again, to me, it's like, why waste all the energy on people that you're probably never going to convince?
Exactly.
Otherwise? It makes no sense.
It's counterproductive.
Keffels. Very true. Y'all see Dankula is stuck with giant penis as his name now. I did. I can't believe that's true. Hilarious. I cannot believe that. That Damon Mills is a queer moment. That's a whole nother debacle with that. But again, it just goes to show the hypocrisy, because they'll tying it back to the VO industry, they'll keep someone like Damon Mills in there.
Oh yeah,
but
they'll keep an actual predator in the, and they'll protect them with their fucking lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Eric for wrongthink, Vic for supposed sexual allegations, and
Vic for existing as a Christian in the industry.
Yeah, I honestly thought that whole situation was more being faith-based than anything else. Because again, it's amazing on how people are attracted to genuine people and stuff, as opposed to these facades that these clowns put on at cons, saying that they're your best friends forever, but behind the scenes they secretly hate you.
We live in a world where everything is fake, and so when you finally encounter something genuine, it's such a breath of fresh fucking air. It's just like, oh my god, like it's such a unique thing to have. It's actually valued now.
Rod, my girlfriend went to her hometown and I'm all alone. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I don't know what you want me to do, but thanks for hanging out. Afarius Omegon says legendary.
Legendary.
Legendary. Well, we are at the 2 hour mark, and I've kind of, I think. Oh wait a minute. Alfarius threw in a last question, not related to
Yeah.
topic, but apparently the Bleach English class cast is dropping like flies. I can't talk today apparently because dark skinned Japanese equals black now, so only black people can voice certain characters. Alfarius, you missed a wonderful topic earlier today because that's exactly what we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and it's again, I really wish I could have found that one person because I could have sworn she said that the way the industry works, it's not based on the best. You're cast because of your skills and stuff. I'm more than confident she said that, and I'm like, that's absolutely not true whatsoever. And if it is happening, you should be casted based on if you were the best performer for the role.
Absolutely.
Period. You shall watch the beginning. That's cool. Do what you feel. But yeah, we talked about how I always want to say Jamie, but it's like Jameson Price, I think, or Jamie or Jameson. I don't know. Fuck him. I don't care. but but yeah, we did talk about that, and again, it showcases this idea. If you're going to take it to the extreme, then just don't. Why even have a dubbing industry? Why even have
Exactly.
it? It makes, if you're going to be this much about projecting on how awesome you are on giving more access to person of color and stuff like that, then fucking stop acting. Get out of the industry then, because
Mm-hmm.
that will be the ultimate form of showcasing on how much you support equality and stuff like that is for
Exactly.
you to get out of the way.
Yeah. 100%. Just step out of the way entirely. Just don't ever do anything ever again.
Hmm. He actually did make a comment. if if you ever get a chance to look at those tweets, Cress, like there were so many comments because I think someone actually said like, well, then why even take on any roles? And it's like, well, I still like acting. It's like, oh, but
Like no, you're taking away. You are taking away roles from starving black actors now. So like you can't have a job. You just have to entirely step aside, never be allowed to have a job ever again. And then how do you feel about that? Like is it then an issue now?
Mhm.
Because like no, you've put it's pigeonholing a situation where it's like, oh, I have to not voice this because blah blah blah. Guess who got the fucking role? A white American actor. Yeah, he's always Cuban descent. Yeah, he's never been in Cuba in his fucking life. He's never been in Cuba in his goddamn life. He's a fucking Florida man actor that gets the fucking role. White dude. Give me a break. Jesus.
Oh my gosh,
Good
it's
grief.
amazing. Eric was half Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And I guess Crunchyroll doesn't love Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Very, very disgusting, Crunchyroll. Or Sony Roll, whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves.
So insane. They're
I'd love to
legitimately
watch.
insane.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
No, they're legitimately insane. Like
Oh yeah. I'd love to watch the double Bleach only for Johnny Young Bosch, but I stick to only the Sums. And this is I've said this before too. There are good actors in the industry. The sad thing is that it's either going to be the prominent ones will still be prominent, but that's not even guaranteed because look what happened to Vic. Excuse me, Vic. Look what happened.
Vic.
Look what happened to Vic. Look what happened to Eric. It's in the end. Like I said, it's going to come full circle where you're going to see a lot of person of color people getting roles because it's going to be person of color, LGBTQ plus, or I don't know. I always never know what the name
It's
is.
going to be a bunch of people that don't deserve the fucking role, that shit the bed, and then
Mhm.
complain that everyone's racist when no one fucking listens to it. That's what it's going to be.
Yep.
It's the fucking like clockwork every goddamn time. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Yorichi is Indian, by the way, so still wrong race. Oh, we're not even talking about her. We're talking about the guy who we're talking about was the guy who originally voiced Chad, who is half Mexican, half Japanese. So why didn't they get a Japanese person to voice him?
They'd have to get a half Japanese, half Mexican.
Very true. Very true. You want
Right?
to be equal all the way around, right?
Yeah.
Sony should be put in front of the firing squad, all of its employees. It's been stated before, and of course, people are going to have different ideas of what gatekeeping should be, but really, the true gatekeeping, I guess you could say, is literally get people who actually care about what they are fucking making,
Exactly.
or acting, or creating, or hiring. Get those people because they actually do care about it, and do not listen to the blue-haired weirdos.
They got to
out
stop
there.
listening to these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they're listening to them at all to begin with.
Well, I think with what's her name, Brianna, the people that were behind Gamergate or like part of it or something. I get fuzzy on that. I'm whatever. They infiltrated the industry because again they saw they were not, these people were never fans of the industry. What they saw was a grave wrong that needed to be righted. And so they went in there and they created, they turned it into activism. That's what they did.
Well, it's because activism is supposedly
Woo, yeah, Brianna.
They get
Woo.
paid. I'm sure they get paid behind the scenes to cause a whole bunch of shit. I'm certain of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw that with fucking Frosk.
Yep. Look what happened.
Still trying to claim that she didn't destroy the entire G4. Yeah, you did.
she literally
you fucking did. What do you think was gonna happen?
She input the nuke codes and pressed the button. What the hell did you think was gonna happen?
Yep. If they have roles where they need a voice that sounds like a drowned hippopotamus, I'll let you know. Oof. Ouch. Oh my gosh, we're getting into fights here. But we are over to the 2-hour mark. Cress, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Because I think we'll go ahead.
I think we hit all the points. It's good.
Wind down the show. So
yeah.
But hey, no boomerang happened except I guess the audio being adjusted. But you know, what can I do? It's been a while since you've been on the show, so I think it remembered your settings, and I finally got my settings at least where I'd like them to be.
Excellent.
I just need a better rig, in all honesty. Kaboom! Knew the shit was coming full force after Nagetaro, a Japanese Gairu who's
yeah, she's tanned, and they considered her black.
Voiced by black. Here's something I was actually thinking of. What would happen? And again, it just goes to show that these people wouldn't give up their role. What if all of a sudden Toriyama said, Piccolo, when I think of Piccolo, I think of, blacks or African Americans.
Exactly.
Is fucking Sabat gonna hand over his role? No.
No, he's definitely not.
No. I don't even think he did with Mr. Popo. And in Kai, they changed him to like a weird blue color, but we all know what the original intent was with the coloring. don't try to hide it.
Of course.
But yeah, these people, the people in power will not give up their roles. They'll flaunt that they're trying to make it more accessible for everyone, but they're not going to give up the main roles. And that's the other thing I wanted to point out too. Chad hardly, if I remember right in the manga, Chad hardly talks a whole lot. He's a very quiet type of person. So way to go, Price, on passing over a role to someone, a role of a person who doesn't like to talk a lot. Real good. He might have talked in the fillers.
It's like, see, the Saiyan race is meant to represent Japan and Japanese. So does that mean that Sabat has to give up his role as he has to give up Vegeta, and Schemmel has to give up Goku? Because they're clearly not Japanese. So that should go to a Japanese voice, and they're taking away people of color's jobs. So
Well, Crest, that's actually nationality, and that's totally different. I'm gonna send you when I find that response. I will send you that because
That was great though. No, like throw that response in their face. It's like no, it's like well, he states that it's about his race and this color of his skin. The Saiyans talk about how proud they are a race all the time. Well, they're a proud Saiyan race. They're a proud Saiyan race. They're a proud Saiyan race. Well, Vegeta, that's his entire character is his fucking race. So
I know, so good. Oh, so good. Oh, the clowning. I love it. Light mode was a boomer moment, you dunce. Hey, I needed some lighting. I'm just using natural lighting. I actually do need to get some LEDs. I guess I should make myself look more professional, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Twitter was not happy when they discovered Guy Ryu apparently looking like 2000 early 2000s Paris Hilton and 80s Pam Anderson is blackface and oh, okay. Isn't saying more like Iran or Iran? It kind of sounded like what? Aryan?
Aryan.
No.
Well, they're meant to represent Japanese culture, and
I mean, if we're talking about the name, the name is based on is a play on for vegetables. All the
yeah,
saying names are play on for vegetables.
exactly.
So that's getting into it. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We'll close down the show for tonight. Again, Cress, thank you so much for swinging by. It's great
Thank
to
you
catch
for
up.
having me on. Always a good time.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to hang with me.
Yeah, of course.
Cress's information is in the description below. And if you like the show, feel free to smash that subscribe button, punch that plus button over on Rumble, hit the like button on YouTube. I don't know. Unless YouTube finally gets gets nuked, you'll see me over at the other areas. Again, we were on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. Also, I have a locals set up, powerkeggreg.locals.com. I have my physical backlog of video games uploaded. We need to look up the digital ones,
Yeah.
and we're slowly getting through there. Chaos says, I hope to see more of you, Crumb. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Not in a weird way, but
well, I don't have an OnlyFans yet, so.
Oh, well, we got to fix that. But yeah, again, all of Crumb's information is in the description over on YouTube, as well as mine, as well as all over the other platforms. So thanks again for joining us. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks for the support. Love you guys. And I will catch you on the flip side. Adios.
Ciao.